All right, guys. Hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. I have a very powerful and exciting topic that I'm going to share with you. But before we go into the video, I want to do an opening monologue. I want to share with you what the topic is going to be about and how important this topic is. And if you apply it, how it's going to change your game in sales. How you're going to be able to produce more sales no matter where you go, what event you're in, what network event you attend, what seminar you attend. You're going to be able to leave those events with a deal in your pocket. How exciting is that? Now, what am I talking about? I have my notes here, guys. So it's how to close deals on the spot. On the telephone, it's considered a one call close. So I'm going to share with you 5 steps that is going to help you when you go to an event to leave there with a deal. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of social network events, especially with social media now. There's a lot of network events, there's a lot of seminars. And in my experience, and I'm just speaking of my experience, a lot of those events, there's not a lot of business being done or that should be done. You get a lot of business cards, you get a lot of phone numbers and things like that. But during that event, there's usually not a lot of deals being done. So for me, every time I make a phone call, every time I go to an event, there has to be a purpose. And for me, the purpose is this. If I have something of value, I need to show it. I need to give it. They need to see it, meaning the prospect or the people I'm going to be networking and the people I'm going to be meeting. There's only one way they're going to know if I am valuable. I have to be able to show that I'm valuable. Does that make sense? So let me give you an example. When you go to network events, there's a lot of opportunities to do deals, right? And a lot of people give out business cards and things like that. For me, I don't give out business cards because I like to be unique. I like to be different. I'm going to share with you in the video what I do to produce a sale during a network event. But to give you a little history is when I was living in Las Vegas and I was living there 16 years, I used to do seminars every 3 months and I was selling a product. It was estate planning, selling corporations and things like that. So what I would do with my salespeople is I would prepare them to prepare their prospects or their existing client that when they come to the seminar, that they're prepared to do business, right? So what I would do is I would give the presentation. I would basically pre-sell all of them or the audience, and then my sales rep will meet with them after the seminar and they will close deals. And at the end, I will produce a lot of sales collectively, and I will get paid very well to do that. So at the end of the day, one of the things that I've learned is how do I apply one call closing as I do on the phone? How do I apply that in a social event, in a network event? Does that make sense? So this is what you're going to learn today. You're going to learn 5 steps on how to close a deal on the spot when you go to a network event, a social media event, a seminar. Whenever there's a group gathering, you want to come out of there with a relationship. Does that make sense? So buckle up, stay tuned. If you like this video, smash the like button. Do share your comments and your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And if you want to follow me on my channel, you know what to do, guys. Just hit the subscription button below. Now, for the introduction. Welcome to the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I got a loaded, powerful sales training tip for you salespeople, entrepreneur, small business owner. It's going to be very exciting, and I hope you're excited. So buckle up, because what I'm about to share could change your game if you apply it. Okay. Now, what the topic is how to do a one call close in a network event or a seminar or in a social gathering or any type of group gathering. I'm going to share with you 5 powerful steps that I use when I go to events. So I like to call it the one call close version in the network event arena. See, I do a lot of one call closes over the phone. So over the years, I figured out a strategy. How can I go to an event and come out of there with a relationship? But before we dig into the topic, if you like this video, do me a favor, smash the like button, share your comments, share your thoughts. Let me know your opinion on what you think about what I'm sharing with you. And also, if you want to follow me, just hit the subscription button below. But before we dig into the topic, let me just make a comment on this. One of the things I've learned over the years, I don't like to waste time because, as you know, they say time is money. And I think it's deeper than that. Time we can never get back. So every time you're doing something, you're either producing results and producing financial results, or you're increasing your value of both. You got to be doing one or the other, both, right? So one of the things I've learned, especially when I was in Las Vegas, I went to a lot of seminars and a lot of events, and I was frustrated because I'm like, there's so many people we meet. We give out business cards, but no business is being done. So I got frustrated, and I said, you know what? I got to figure out a strategy to not waste my time going to these events. I may learn a few things, but at the end, there's no business being done. And that's my fault. I wasn't mad at anybody. I just don't like not doing business, especially if I have something of value. So what I'm going to share with you is 5 things you need to do and learn and apply so that when you go to an event and you have a product or service that's valuable, you want to go into these events knowing you're going to come out of there with a relationship right on the spot. I know it's kind of bold. I know it sounds arrogant and egotistical, but it's not. It is not. So this is the way I go about it. This is how I teach my people. Okay. So now, step number 1, I got my card here, is the number 1 thing you have to do is you have to stand out. You have to stand out different than the people that may be competing with you. You have to be different. You have to be authentic, sincere, original. What do I mean by that? When you go to these events, there's other people in your industry that are going to sell the same services, right? Some of these people are going to try to sell you their services, and you're going to try to sell your services to them, right? So just think about it. So one of the ways that I try to be different is, I know one thing when I go into these seminars and these networks, that every business owner in there needs qualified leads and they need to produce more sales, right? We all do, right? So there's a purpose when I go to these seminars and these network events. I have to be able to show there's no one here like me in this whole room. There's no one here that's going to produce the results you're looking for than me. So once I have that premise and I have that mindset, now I have to show it. And one of the ways that I show it is typically this. When you go to seminar, the first thing people are going to ask you that you're engaging with is your business card, right? So what I do intentionally, I don't bring business cards because I'm going there for a specific reason, to target 1 or 2 prospects that I can convert into a customer right there. And giving business cards away is the path of least resistance. And for me personally, it almost devalues whatever value you already shown. That's just my personal view. So one of the things that I do when I have my target and I start engaging them, I know they're going to ask me for my number on my business card. So one of the things I do to make it personal and authentic and original and sincere, I tell them I don't have a business card. I didn't bring it on purpose. Then take a step back. I go, yes, but what I want to do is I can help your business. I can help you produce more sales. I can help you grow your business. And I give them my presentation, how I'm going to do that. And then I personally write my personal number down. I write my name and I write my telephone number and I give them the paper directly. That's how you could stand out different. That's what I do when I go to these events. Now, it's awkward, it's different, it's thinking outside the box, but guess what? I'm not known to do things the way people do it. I've always been a rebel with a cause, not without a cause. I'm a rebel with a cause. And everything I do has a purpose. I don't just go there just to go there and network. I go to these events to produce sales and to offer, show, and give my value. Does that make sense? So that's step number one. Okay. Step number two, you have to let the prospects or whoever you're going to target, they have to see that you're valuable to their business, right? And just keep this in mind that every business in there, every entrepreneur that's there, they're all looking to either sell somebody their services and product. But what they don't realize is that all of them need sales. So they're all trying to produce sales. But in my opinion, they go about it the wrong way, or they don't put themselves in a position where they're unique or different or authentic. So you have to be able to show the people you target why you're different. It's like a cold call. You got 3 to 5 seconds to earn trust, respect, and value. So to me, that's a cold call in essence, because I've never met these people. I'm meeting them in an event. We have something in common. We're going to a network event to meet other people. But my purpose is to stand out. My purpose is to show them value. They have to see that value by what you say and how you say it. Does that make sense? So step number two is you got to let your prospect know and see the value you have. Because at the end of the day, people have a different perception of value, right? And that value is tied to a monetary value or monetary investment, basically a price, right? So if you show value up front and you're unique up front and you're sincere and you're authentic, that's what people look for. And keep this in mind also, you and I, all of us, we're all customers and business owners, right? And there's only one or two ways we buy. We either want something or we need something. Does that make sense? So now, number three is you have to set the tone for your targeted prospect. And you have to set the tone in your mind way ahead of time. For me, I know if I'm scheduled to go to a social event or network event or whatever the event may be, I'm going to have a game plan. I'm going to set the tone when I get there. Whoever my target audience is, I'm going to set the tone for how the conversation is going to go. I'm going to set the tone for how the potential relationship is going to go. Why? Because one thing I've learned a long time ago, I have to make it about the prospect. I have to make it about them. And the only way I can do that is I have to show value. I have to show that I can produce. I have to show that they need what I have. I got to get them to want it. So I have to set the tone. That's what I do. That's what I do on the phone. Now it's just in the physical aspect of it, actually face-to-face meeting people. Does that make sense? So number three is you have to set the tone to the targeted prospect when you get to these events. You have to do that. Does that make sense? Now, number four is this. You have to, what I call improv sales presentation. Okay. Now, I call it selling presentation because you see, the sales is the end result of the selling, right? And I know people say, well, people don't like to be sold. Yeah, but somebody's selling them, right? When they buy. Because we're all selling. You can't be ashamed of that. The only way you're ashamed of it is you don't have real value. So you got to do improv selling presentation, right? Improv means you're right there on the spot. It's not rehearsed. Even though you have a game plan when you go there, you have to adjust to the mentality of the prospect you're going to target. You have to transition from the introduction when you meet them and you shake their hand and you start to introduce yourself, right? It's like a cold call because you don't know them. They don't know you. So you got to make a first good impression. You got to show a perceived value, right? So that you can show your real value or your intrinsic value, right? That comes with the improv selling presentation. And the way I do it, I'm just myself. I'm authentic, original, sincere. I think outside the box. I let them know, listen, I'm coming here to offer my value and start a relationship with someone. Whether it's you or somebody else, everyone needs my services. It's my job to show it. That's what I mean about improv selling. You ever been around even a party, or you go to a club, or you go somewhere and just people just gathering together, and it's not schedule, it's just improv. It just happened to get together at that point. That's what this is for me. So you got to have an improv selling presentation when you go to these events. Why? Because during the presentation and you're doing the selling presentation, you have to do everything you would do otherwise. Everything I do on the phone. I ask discovery questions. I ask tie-down questions. I ask path of least resistance questions, follow-up questions, probing questions. I qualify them as if they were on the phone with me. That's part of my selling. I start to increase my value as I do that, because at the end of the day, I know the prospect is looking for qualified leads and they want to know how to convert those leads into sales because they all want cash flow, right? We all want cash flow. We all want sales. We all want to produce more revenue, right? We all want higher profit margins, and we all want a return on investment. That's that simple. That's the conversations I have when I prospect at a network event or a social media event. Any event that has to do with a group of people. And if I know ahead of time, I'm more prepared. But even if I wasn't expected to go, I'm always prepared because I know the value I have. And you should do the same thing. Stand out. Be different. Be authentic. Be original. Be sincere. Don't be afraid to ask for the order if you have something of value that they need. That's what I do. Okay. Now, number 5 is you close the deal. For me, the deal's already done from when I go there. It's just a matter of who is it going to be. Now, again, this might sound arrogant or egotistical, but it's not. It's called confidence and conviction. Understanding what I have to offer, knowing that what I have to offer, every business owner needs. I got to get them to want what I'm offering, because who doesn't want better leads? Who doesn't want to produce more sales? What business owner doesn't want more cash flow? What business owner doesn't want to multiply their annual revenue? What business owner doesn't want higher profit margins? What business owner doesn't want a huge return on their investment capital? We all do, right? What better opportunity than to be around a bunch of people, a bunch of entrepreneurs and small business owners that may have the check to write it? That's your job to find out if they could afford it. That's your job. That's my job. And so when you go through the first 4 steps, you go right for the close. And one of the things I do when I give them everything that I have, and I gave them all the value up front, and they see and they feel and they touch and they could taste it and they could visualize them, I asked them for the order. I said, how do you want to start this? How do you want to start this relationship? How do you want to take ownership of what I'm offering you? Are you ready to produce more sales? And the way I do it is I box them in. Joe Schmo, do you like the idea? Do you like what I'm presenting to you? Yeah, I like it, Paul. Does it make sense? Do you understand what I'm offering you? Does it make sense? Do you see how I'm going to be able to help you produce more sales and get you better leads and XYZ? Yeah, okay, great. Do you understand the value that I'm offering you that's going to solve your sales problem, that's going to solve your lead problem, that's going to solve your cash flow problem and your revenue problem and your profit margin problem? Do you see the value? Do you see how this is possible? If you do it right, they're going to say yes. What else is there? If I did my job right, I know they could afford my price. Does that make sense? So that's how you prepare yourself to do a one call close or a one event close. You know, when you go to a network event or a seminar and everything, you got to be prepared and you can't be afraid. You got to think outside the box. You can't be like everyone else. For me, I don't believe in the sheep mentality. I just don't do that. Does that make sense? You know? So anyway, I thank you for your time. I hope this has been helpful. Again, share your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it or you didn't like it, or what you learned, what you didn't learn, how I could make it better. You know, smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on my channel, just hit the subscription button below. Till we speak again, I do thank you for your time. And remember this, have a plan, have a strategy. When you go to these network events, to come out of there with an actual relationship, come out of there with a sale, because your time is worth money. If you don't see your time as worth money or a certain value, then you're never going to produce the sales that you could in those type of events. Just my personal view, my opinion, and my experience. So anyway, guys, thank you for your time. This is Paul Cruz with the Paul Cruz Sales Agency. Take care. Have a fantastic day. Bye.